All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, right here on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streamed around the world on classic1220.ca. The X Zone, as you well know by now, X Zone Nation, is a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And we come to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight, as I've said before, right here from your hometown radio, Classic 1220, streamed around the world on classic1220.ca. My first guest tonight is Michael Fitzhugh Bell, and we're going to be talking to Michael about a number of things. Michael has written articles for the Palm Springs Life magazine and won several writing contests in prep school and college. He was a finalist amongst over 20,000 entries in the first Project Greenlight contest in 2001. A returning guest speaker on several radio shows. And he's considered an individual. He writes a series of books to educate and alert the general public about the dangers of classified biomedical technologies. So joining me now is our guest this hour, Michael Fitzhugh Bell. And Michael, welcome to the X Zone.
Nice to be here, Rob.
Thanks very much for joining us. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got involved in the fields that you talk about, the conspiracies as well as the biomedical technology that is out there, and we may not know about a lot of the secret stuff that's going on.
Well, what happened to me was I was an aspiring screenwriter in Hollywood in 2008, and one night I was drugged and abducted from my apartment, and I remember the perpetrators wearing frightening masks, and at one point lying on a stainless steel table with a bright light shining on me, and surgeons wearing surgical masks standing over me. I woke up thinking it was the next morning, but to my horror, I discovered that it was actually 8 days later. And my body was riddled with dozens of tiny corresponding and symmetrical covert cosmetic surgical incision scars. And I consulted with several private investigators and a former CIA agent that informed me that it sounded like I'd become what is known as a targeted individual, and that I had possibly been implanted with advanced nanotechnology biomedical devices. So I literally traveled around the world collecting medical evidence in the form of MRIs, ultrasounds, x-rays, all with verified and validated real doctors' reports, all clearly showing foreign objects directly beneath the covert surgical incision scars. The private investigators and the former CIA agent all told me that I was likely part of a massive field test and illegal clinical trial of human experimentation using classified technologies. It's believed to be the most advanced weapon system ever created by mankind, and a weapon in every sense of the word. This program is widely recognized as an unacknowledged special access program, believed to be part of the military-industrial complex, which is composed of the military black ops, the military, the Department of Defense, the NSA, Department of Justice, and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA. It's a human experimentation program that causes extreme psychological terror as well as physical torture. This kind of illegal human experimentation is considered a war crime and is the highest ranking type of capital crime punishable by the death penalty, technology is way ahead of the law. The law has a lot of catching up to do. So that's a basic introduction of what happened to me.
Wow.
And I've written 3 books, The Invisible Crime Part 2, and American Cyborg is my latest book in 2022.
Why do you think you were selected to be part of this experiment?
That's a good question, Rob. I really don't know. I've never gotten confirmation, but I think it may be connected. It may be generational. It may be something that's been handed down through the generational bloodline in my family. It could be that, or I think it could possibly be connected to an accident that I caused and was responsible for when I was 19 years old. And the person that was traveling with me was part of one of the most powerful, influential, and wealthiest families in the world, and with strong political ties and government connections. So it's quite possible that that my being targeted had something to do with that accident, but I really don't know.
Have you ever thought of getting these implants removed?
I did have one removed. I did have one removed from my. It's very difficult to, because the crime is so. It's such a secret crime. It's the highest level of classified crime that there is, and the almost everyone seems to be involved in it. You have the possibility of the corruption of the entire medical industry, law enforcement, government agencies. So it makes it very difficult to try to get a removal, or even to get medical evidence. And even sometimes with medical evidence, it will be denied, or worse. You could be, even though you're telling the truth about what happened to you, sometimes telling you the truth could get you locked up in a medical facility illegally. You could be wrongfully diagnosed and falsely admitted. Lots of targeted individuals that I know have had that happen to them at one point or another. So it's very difficult. I did have one removed from my jaw, and I did get pictures of it, and it's in the first book, but it was taken away from me. And it should have been, the chain of custody goes to me. Like if I had a bullet in my arm, that bullet belongs to me. But in this case, because it's so classified, there's when the doctor removed it, they sent it to the lab to get it analyzed. But anyway, it was not part of the human body. It was not something that was. It should have been returned to me. It should never have been taken away from me. But I'll never get a chance to get that back now. That was in maybe 2010 that I got that removal.
This reminds me about the work that Dr. Roger Lear did with the taking out of implants out of people. I guess in the late 1990s. Along with a former CIA officer and these people at that time claimed that these implants were put into them by aliens. And I'm just wondering if these alien implants could have actually been the same type of operation that you're now part of.
It's possible. I would think that a lot of people get dismissed using that as a cover-up for the crime. But when you look at the crime and the evidence that I have in my books, the crime that I've written about is really the biggest conspiracy in human history. If there are aliens, and if that is a real conspiracy, then that conspiracy takes a back seat to this one, because implanting human beings and performing experiments on them illegally, and at the using advanced technologies that are estimated to be somewhere between 50 and 100 years of where we are as a global community. The technology is so far ahead that that people aren't educated enough to understand how advanced the technologies are.
Now, how many other people do you estimate have been targeted and have these implants or are part of other nefarious experiments that are going on under the guise of national security?
I would say that there's hundreds of thousands of individuals around the world, but people that are at my level of being targeted, because it's quite expensive to be a targeted individual for the people that are running the crime. It's estimated that a person, this is the research that I came up with, talking to people that know much more than I do, that have helped me get information for most of my books, that it's estimated that it costs upwards of $10 billion a year per targeted individual at my level of being targeted. And then you have to say that's a lot of money, but you look at all the things that are involved with it. It's there's thousands of people that are involved in this conspiracy, and it's why are they? It's all about collecting data that's being harvested from the target individuals. This is what I've determined in my research, that it's all about the data, and the formula for the crime is money plus power equals control. And it's all about control for the globalist cabal, which is the group of people that are believed to be at the very top of this crime. And there's so many different aspects to the crime. There's the initial selecting the person for whatever reason to get them into the program. I don't know why. I haven't come to a conclusion as to why I have been chosen, but
Michael, I hate to do this. I've got to take a break. Please stand by. X-Zone Nation. Our guest this hour is Michael F. Bell. Here's his websites: invisiblecrime.com and michaelfbell.com. Fascinating story, and we'll both be back on the other side of this break as the X-Zone continues right here with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streamed around the world on classic1220.ca. Don't go away.
Well, we're living here in Allentown, and they're closing all the factories down. Out in Bethlehem,
into my room he creeps without making a sound. Into my dreams he
And welcome back. This is the X-Zone. I'm Rob McConnell, and you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, streamed at classic1220.ca. Our guest this hour is Michael Fitzhugh Bell, and two websites, Exonation, invisiblecrime.com and michaelfbell.com. I've got to tell you something, Michael. This is sounds like it's something straight out of science fiction, and yet here you are, living proof that this does exist. It must be so frustrating for you that here you have all this evidence that you've collected from around the world, and you basically can't do anything with it because nobody, if I understand you right, is looking at this as a crime, or it's not classified as a crime because it's part of national security and the defense complex. So what do you do? How do you protect yourself?
That's a great question. You interpret that correctly, Rob. Yes, it's extremely frustrating to try to explain what happened to me, even to friends and family. Some people understand, but most it's not because they aren't intelligent enough. It's because they haven't been educated about the crime. The crime is so top secret and so covert that I would say anywhere, almost maybe a third of the money in the crime is used to just conceal the crime, to keep it secret. So to pay people off, to run diversions. I mean, there's so many different aspects of the crime that cost so much. And then you have different targeted individuals that are believed to be targeted for different reasons. Some may be biomedical, some might be psychological. But one thing's for sure is that targeted individuals are the direct result of a corrupt government. This crime, which is based in secrecy and deception, could not exist without the complicity and acquiescence of the United States government, the medical community, and law enforcement. It has been suggested, and it is not difficult to perceive and understand, that corrupt judges and prosecutors can be bought and paid for to further the agenda of the criminal cabal. It's widely recognized that one of the ways that people can become targeted individuals is that they have been wrongfully, illegally placed on the terror watch list. So and then a FISA warrant can be issued against a person that allows for surveillance against foreign spies or persons of interest. So once you get on that list, that justifies any money that's being spent on you, probably from the military black ops. So if you get on the terror watch list, and it's estimated that only a small percent of the people that are actually on the terror watch list are actually terrorists. It's an unusually high amount of people that have no criminal background and have nothing to do with any kind of terror or any kind of crime, but are being illegally surveillanced and monitored. And in this case, being implanted with biomedical technology that is anywhere from 50 to 100 years ahead of where we are as a global community. You can imagine the amount of time and energy and investment resources that go into creating that program, and then imagine the viewing centers that they have, the monitoring and surveillance of not just me, but other people like me. But I think where I am, I seem to be the only, because I live out in the country, and I live pretty far away from most people. Mm-hmm. So I don't really have any neighbors where I live. But on any given night, you can look up into the sky above my house, and there's anywhere from 30 to 40 different helicopters and drones. It takes at least one helicopter and one drone to triangulate a targeted individual. This is what's estimated. And in addition to anything that may have been illegally installed into my house, which I believe has, and if I were to find something in my house, probably within a half an hour, somebody would be knocking at the door to come and collect the evidence, whatever it was. But I have, I mean, the amount of surveillance that's on me is astronomical. When I look up in the sky, I've talked to other targeted individuals that have 5 or 6 helicopters, but these are not just ordinary helicopters, Rob. These are stealth helicopters, covert surveillance helicopters stationed above my house and property. For these helicopters and for the drones, you're looking at each night for them. If it's the military that's involved, at least in my determination and my research, each night for them is a mission. It's the military. So each night with the Sikorsky UH-60 Black Hawk Black Ops stealth helicopter, each one of those cost upwards of $70 million for the aircraft alone. And then you have to factor in all the costs that go in with that one aircraft. A full crew, including backup pilots, technicians monitoring the targeted individual, fuel for over 12 hours of flight time at a cost to the American taxpayer of anywhere from $250,000 to $1 million or more a night, equipped with the latest classified technologies. And in my research, it can be anywhere from $1 to $2 million a night per stealth helicopter. And sometimes I have as many as 30 or 40 up there that I've filmed, that I've taken pictures of, that anyone can see that they're not stars, they're not planets, they're helicopters, and they're not moving. They're parked up there all night. So they'll be up there in the wintertime. It can be from 7 o'clock at night till 7 o'clock in the morning that they'll be up there. And it's believed that most of the programming for target individuals happens at night. And the data that's believed to be extracted from the target individual is being monitored and taken, believed to be taken by these helicopters with bidirectional technology. And for the people that don't know, it's this technology. It's called BCI, brain to computer interface technology. This technology can be compared to a cell phone in that it's an open two-way communication, except the line of communication is using classified technologies, is constant and continuous. Once initiated in the target, the interaction between the victim's brain and a supercomputer is relentless and never-ending, forecast to be a lifelong effect of global criminal biomedical human experimentation. So these classified technology signals that are coming off the targeted individual are believed to be able to read a human being's thoughts in real time, as well as being capable of putting information back into the target individual brain also in real time. It's a bidirectional synthetic technology. It's a synthetic telepathy is what it's called. It's the exchange of information is often referred to as synthetic telepathy or bidirectional interface technology or a brain to computer interface. Voice to skull technology is often used as the description for the process of this very specific classified technology. The voices and or projected auditory effects are widely reported to be achieved through biomedical nanotechnology devices inserted directly into the victim's brain via the nasal passage, and or through the use of the covert cochlear ear implant technology also implanted directly into the ear canal of the individual, of the target. It's pretty scary stuff. It sounds like it's right out of a science fiction movie, but it's actually where we are. It's actually what's happening. That's only what I know.
Yeah.
So
Let
you
me
can imagine.
let me ask you this. I've got a few questions. We've got to take a break in about 2.5 minutes here. You were saying that there's a helicopter and a drone that are used in your pinpoint location, right?
Correct. To triangulate. That's correct.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
So wouldn't they be able to home in on your cell phone?
Oh, everything that I have. My TV, my phone, everything in my house.
Yeah.
My house is basically a laboratory for them.
Now, do these drones and these helicopters monitor you during the day as well?
Sometimes I've seen them during the day, but they're usually they could be there could be. I'm sure that there's definitely ground surveillance around my property during the day. If I go outside, there'll be a couple of golf carts that are on the perimeter of my property that will appear out of it within a matter of minutes. Like if I went out my back door and sat out in the backyard, within 5 minutes there would be within a quarter mile of my house somehow the neighbors, whenever there's a targeted individual, when they move into a neighborhood like mine, it seems like overnight the neighborhood is transformed into a community based around that targeted individual. So whether it's paying off the neighbors or forcing them and coercing them to be a part of the program, everyone around your neighborhood, every store you go to, they're all the people are part of the program. So it's literally no escape for you. When you go to the store, you see how wide, and all those people are probably being told misinformation about me and getting paid a lot of money to be quiet and do whatever they're told to do and act the way that they're meant to act around me. In this case, that would be called organized stalking. That's part of the targeting. It's mind control, organized stalking, and there's another part of it called electronic torture or electronic
harassment.
Electronic harassment. That's
all right,
we've got
to take our break. Please stand by, Michael. Exonation Michael F. Bell is our special guest this hour. His website, invisiblecrime.com and michaelfbell.com. And we'll both be back on the other side of this break. And I've got a few more questions I'm going to be asking Michael as we continue our look into these strange crimes that Michael and other people in the United States and around the world, according to Michael, are being targeted. And there's nothing they can do. We'll be back on the other side of this break as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, right here on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and around the world on classic1220.ca.
Into my room he creeps without making a sound.
Now I think I know why it sounded so strange on the telephone. Well, it's hard when you discover what keeps you going, keeps you on.
And this is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell, and you're listening to us right here on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and around the world on classic1220.ca. Michael Fitzhugh Bell is my special guest. His websites are michaelfbell.com and invisiblecrime.com. Michael, prior to you being kidnapped by these agents and then fully implanted with these devices that you have now, Well, what were you doing? Were you involved in any nefarious writings? Were you a conspiracy theorist? Were you anti-government?
No.
I'm trying to understand why they selected you.
Yeah, I really don't know. Some people know or claim to know why they've been targeted, but I can't say for sure why. There's a couple of reasons, and there's also the possibility of being randomly selected. Uh, there's there's so many different reasons, and the reasons people are being targeted, reasons targeted individuals are believed being exploited for include medical testing to see if certain types of cancer can be caused or mutated simply through the power of suggestion. These are some of the reasons why targeted individuals are believed to being used for. What another one would be various unknown mind control experiments, also ritualistic torture and sadistic gratification, psychological and physical experimentation, human trafficking, perverse forms of entertainment, and voyeurism. And here's one that is one that's believed to be used on a lot of people to see, not for me, but for other people, to see if the sexual orientation of a person can be changed simply through hypnosis and through mind control, from heterosexual to homosexual, from homosexual to heterosexual. That's what some people, and to determine which techniques and methods get the best results. There's so many different reasons why people are being targeted, and sometimes you even can see, if you're targeted, you can even see celebrities that you see them act out in a certain way, and it leads you to believe that, oh, that person could be mind controlled. They see it answers a lot of questions that people have about people, and why you look at the way the world was before 1935, before mind control came out and was being used in World War II. There was only a small percentage of homosexuals really in the world. Suddenly after that, it became exploded. Not just that, when back in 1935, there wasn't, as far as I know, I don't want to offend anyone or hurt anyone's feelings, but there wasn't a lot of these trends that you see so much today. I say that with respect to everyone, but some of the people don't understand that this program has been out since 1935, and who knows how long it's been being used on the American public. And so it's hard to say if, people say this is the way I have been since I was born, whatever they are, whatever their orientation is, or whatever their, whatever the way they are.
Yeah, I kind of get where you're going with this, but what does this matter? What does it matter whether a person is homosexual, straight, member of LGBT?
But I'm saying sometimes it can come from mind control.
But when you look at history, this homosexuality was blatant in the Roman Empire.
Right.
And there was no mind control back then.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's something that I know that the targeters toy with, forcing thoughts on people. I've had thoughts that are not natural to me forced on me through this program. So that it's coming from the way I understand it, from the way other people have told me, and just in my own observations. I have no idea what the powers of this are, but I know that it can persuade. If you can control a person's emotions, you can effectively control that person. No matter if you can control their fears, their joy, their sadness, their depression. If you can control all those things, you can coerce a person into being pretty much anything you want them to be over time.
Right.
With this program.
What do you think your mission is?
I'm really not sure, to be honest. It's a good question. I'm not sure. It seems that I know that in this program that it's possible to program people and program their dreams. I have what you call dream manipulation. Since I've been in the program since 2008, I haven't had a normal, regular dream. These dreams are surreal. They're sometimes in the dream you realize that it's a dream, but other times it's so real that and absurd that it's frightening. But once in a while in the dream you realize that it's only a dream, and you can actually force yourself to wake up like I have. But other times you'll be having whatever the dream is that you're being programmed with, and you could even get up in the middle of the night for whatever the reason and go back to sleep, and it's almost like it was hit on pause and then play again. Unlike most people, when you get up in the middle of the night and go back to sleep, you don't generally go right back into that same dream again like a program. But that's what happens to target individuals. It can happen. It happens to me.
Let me ask you this. You know, you've written 3 books.
Right.
You're getting this word out there. You're not hiding behind a brick wall. You're not hiding anywhere because, number one, apparently you're being monitored. Everybody, the powers to be know exactly where you are at any given time. But spreading this information right here on the show tonight, or by your books and the other places that you've done interviews on, are you not putting yourself in personal danger?
Oh yeah, completely. But I mean, at this point, with what's happened to me, hijacking a person's life and using them for all sorts of reasons, medical, biomedical experiments, psychological experimentation, completely illegal human experimentation.
Yeah, I understand that. And I'm not doubting your credibility whatsoever, because I know for a fact that nefarious forces are out there. My mother was one of the patients during MK Ultra in Montreal. So I'm well aware of the reach of the CIA within even the Canadian government. So I believe that anything is possible. But how has your health been since the implants? Have you developed any new diseases, any neurological disorders?
That's a great question, Rob. I haven't developed anything that I'm aware of. Okay. But that's another thing about being a target individual. You never really get to know your true health status. Even when I go to the doctor, I mean, most everyone is pretty much limited in that way. You have to take the doctor's word for it. You don't know what the real results are. You never really get to see, even though I have blood work and go to the doctor twice a year, for a regular physical, for a person that's 62 years old. You never really get to know what your true health status is, and you don't know what you may have or don't have because you're limited to the information that the doctors are giving you and what they're limited to telling you. The medical industry is a very corrupt industry, as all of the industries are, the law industry, the real estate industry, but particularly the medical community, law enforcement, the government agencies. There's a room for a lot of corruption, and the globalist cabal, which is the highest ranking group of nefarious people, that literally, it's organized crime that's running the world right now. If you look at everything that's happening, the globalist cabal controls everything from the stock market to the weather, and the way it wants the people to react when it controls its media and what you're allowed to see on TV, what the sanitized news that you're fed every evening when you watch the news. It's only what they want you to see, what they allow you to see.
But if that's the case, why are they allowing you to talk the way you talk? Why are they allowing you to write the books you write? Why are they allowing you to do so much? One might say that you're actually part of it.
Well, that's a great question. I believe that part of my mission that I'm unaware of, that it seems to be that part of my experimentation, part of my targeting, is to see how far I can go with this. How far, how much can I discover? How much can I research and figure out? Because when it first happened to me, when I first got abducted, I knew none of this.
And
I never knew anything.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2008. And then it took me a couple of years in talking to many people to start figuring out what actually happened to me. And you're only limited to all of your resources, and all of my contacts, a CIA, former CIA agent, confirmed everything that I had researched. And this person said to me that my books barely scratch the surface of what's really going on in the world. They barely scratch the surface. Even as much as we're talking about tonight, it's nothing compared to what's really going on.
Michael,
I'm only just getting a little piece of it.
All right, Michael, I hate to do this to you, good sir, but I've got to take my final break. And Exonation, our guest this hour is Michael Fitzhugh Bell. His websites are invisiblecrime.com and michaelfbell.com. Interesting story. Is it possible? Anything is possible, especially in today's age and society when technology is on the rise. Look what's happening with, artificial intelligence, for example. We've known about nanotechnology for years. Well, let's talk more to my guest on the other side of this break as we continue and wrap up this hour here in the X Zone on Classic 1220 and classic1220.ca.
It sounded so strange on the telephone.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the final hour. The final segment of tonight's first hour of the show. We have a second hour coming up right after the news break at the top of the hour. Michael Fitzhugh Bell has been my guest this hour. He's still with us. His two websites are invisiblecrime.com and michaelfbell.com. And like I was saying to you on the break, Michael, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I don't know what to say, my friend. I really don't know what to say. I wish there was some way we could help you. Get the word out there, or just get some way that people would know that these things can happen. And just by you coming on our show and the other shows you've done and writing your books out there, I know it puts you at a risk. And it's because of people like you that we get to find out what's on the other side of the coin and who the men really are behind the curtain. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
I was reading the information you sent us, and you wrote something here called electronic harassment. What is that?
That's electronic harassment is a form of the monitoring surveillance program connected with the biomedical implants that causes sleep deprivation, body pain,
Oh gosh.
powerful itching, burns on the skin, involuntary speech, high body heat, all blurred vision. All of these things are fall under the electronic harassment. Also, remotely induced mind control. It's all together. But the electronic harassment's usually the pain and torture part. That's what usually is associated with it. But when I wrote these books, it's really about neurological warfare.
Yeah.
And in the United States experiments. And as I wrote, just as vaccines and medicines require years of testing and proving before they're marketed, psychological weaponry must undergo extensive testing and proving. It involves every aspect of science, neuroscience, physics, mathematics, psychology, and medicine, and all war tactics, techniques, and methods. Basically, the sum of all human knowledge is what this crime is about. But the most interesting part is, I think, is the implantation process. It's not simply placing a biomedical device underneath the skin, even at the nanoscale size. It's believed that after being fully implanted with biomedical devices, the target/victim will also have to undergo another rigorous process. Because the data being harvested from the target is so crucial, the data must be accurate. The human body is relatively soft and alone is not an ideal soundboard for the bidirectional process of telemetry and signal sending and data collection. Therefore, the target's body must be compressed. The compression of the human body is believed to happen through a series of procedures which tighten and compress the body to a state where signals and data can be transmitted effectively, accurately. It's widely reported that by using nanowire, nanomesh, titanium clips, and an exterior coating of nanopolymer, the human body can be compressed to the point where signals and frequencies are efficiently sent and received by the military globalist cabal.
So what are they doing? Are they weaponizing humans?
Yeah, the data is extracted and then it's recorded, logged, and compared and contrasted with other target individuals with similar characteristics such as age, race, gender, body height, weight, physique. And it's believed to be possible now, it's now believed to be possible to extract, record, and play back the memories of another person through the brain sciences and neurological weapons technology.
There's two things that I've heard that are resonating with me. Number one, this sounds a lot like what people talk about when they have an alien abduction experience, and they talk about the surgical room, they talk about the implantation, and they talk about going back to the ship to get more procedures done. Number one, sounds very familiar. Number two, sounds like the modern day Manchurian Candidate.
Right. Exactly.
So where do we go from here? I've got about 7 minutes left. How do we fight this?
It's you're talking to a man who has both arms tied behind his back, so he really can't do very much.
You're coming into an election year in the United States. Wouldn't one of the candidates love to get this kind of information?
You never know if that's already. I imagine if we're already coming up with that idea that it's who knows how long it's been going on.
Well, if the United States government is having congressional hearings about unidentified flying objects,
Right.
why would they not? Or the same senators or congressmen who are involved in these type of congressional hearings, why would they not give you, an American citizen, the same consideration that they're giving people who are making claims about UFOs?
Right. I think that one, I don't know, but I just know that that's not a crime so much that we know about.
Well, wait a minute. What, UFOs aren't a crime, or what they're doing to you?
But I'm saying what's happening to me is different than spotting.
Oh, right. Yes, I agree. What they're doing to you is definitely a crime.
Yeah, it's beyond a crime.
You're right, 100%. So this was my point. You're
Yes.
coming into an election year.
Right.
If I were you, I would get this information out to every congressman, every senator, every candidate, every media outlet. Man, this has got to get out there.
Yeah, I agree. It's at some point it will,
But at what cost to how many people?
and hopefully in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be in the future. It will definitely come out, but I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime. I hope so, and I hope that I'm part of making that happen on a show like this, opening people's mind up to possibilities and probabilities and things that people have even told me. They said, I was doing just fine until I read your books, and now you got me a little worried. But if that's the case, then the books are working, because people should be concerned. They should not just turn a blind eye to something, because, quite frankly, it's too disturbing for people to acknowledge that somebody could be programming their dreams or telling them what to buy or who to vote for.
Well, it sounds like people are, the Matrix, living in the Matrix.
Correct.
And people are waking up to that idea. I hear it all the time. And I believe in my heart of hearts that there are people out there who want to hear the message that you're giving, because you're saying, hey, I know this is true. I've got the marks, the scars to prove it. I'm not out of my ever-loving cuckoo mind. I know what I'm talking about, and here's the proof. Bang.
Yeah, it's too, as I said, it's too disturbing for people to once they realize how damaging, how invasive, and at what point is it their life and their ideas and their imagination, or is it all do we think at all, or are we all being guided by an unseen hand, the card of fraud? Do we actually think at all anymore? That's the thing, and what percentage of that thinking is being controlled? It's a scary thought, but that's the future for weapons. It won't be blowing up infrastructures it will be turning people's minds off.
Wouldn't it be a lot cheaper to develop a super virus to wipe out the population of the other side that you want to annihilate, instead of spending, like you're saying, billions and billions and billions of dollars each and every night?
It's estimated, if it's $10 billion a year for a targeted individual, it's also estimated that the money being generated from that 10 billion is turning into trillions of dollars.
How can they make money from what they're doing?
Well, that's the thing. If they have the formula for making a person think a certain way, or for these are mostly military objectives and psychological objectives. So these are things that you would that would be used on heads of state you know, military leaders. You know, it's that kind of level of tactics and techniques. And
Once again, I understand that. And prior to we were talking about the number of people involved, and you said thousands around the world.
Right.
Why would it take thousands to develop this technology? Why would it cost so much? And why would they have to use American citizens to have this happen to? It makes no sense at this point, you know?
Yeah, I can't answer all. I don't have all those answers for you, but I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense to us.
Yeah.
But it seems to make sense for the people who are making the investment and monitoring and filling the sky up every night here. I mean, it's for people that even people that have come to my house, I say, if you're going to be here when it gets dark, you're going to see a show. And they said, yeah, okay. And then when it gets dark, they see all the lights up in the sky. And you look at the look on their face, it's like they've just seen their first UFO and they know it's real.
But are you near an air base, a military base, or are you in the middle of nowhere?
I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere, but not too far from military bases, close enough for them to get to, probably 15 or 20 minutes for them in a helicopter.
Gotcha. Hey, listen, I hate to do this, but we've run out of time. I'd love to have you back on in the future so we can further discuss this.
Well, that was great, Rob.
This horrific tale that you're telling us, and I wish you well, sir. I really do.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on the show. It was a real pleasure, and you asked some great questions, by the way.
Thank you very much, Michael. Take care of yourself, and keep in touch, please.
You too. Thank you.
All right, Michael. Take care of yourself now, man. Exonation, our guest this hour has been Michael Fitzhugh Bell. His websites are invisiblecrime.com and michaelfbell.com. We'll be back on the other side of this break as hour number 2 continues and starts off here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streamed around the world, Classic 1220.ca. Strange things happen here in the X Zone. People open their hearts. They share their secrets because they know this is a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. We'll be back. Don't go away.